let's start with Taverner Bill. Do you think it's appropriate that an old friend of the Premier's is put forward as to head the OPP?
There was a third-party group put together, a committee put together to do the actual hiring process. They came through, and it was a unanimous consent of that whole group that Mr. Taverners be appointed. And we feel very strongly and confident that he is the right person to head the Ontario Police Association.
But the rules were changed in the middle of the process to allow him to qualify.
There was an independent process taken, people very qualified who came in independently and did the review, and again, a unanimous consent was made, a unanimous decision was made to allow and appoint Mr. Taverner, and we stand behind that.
You don't think it's a bit poor optics that he's an old friend of the Premier?
Kirk, if you think of how many people I know in Bruce Grey, Owen Sound, and if no one can ever be appointed because Bill Walker knows them, then we're not going to have a lot of good people in places where they should be. So, as I say, it's independent. It's now gone, to his credit. It's now going backwards to the Integrity Commissioner, and that will be determined. And at the end of the day, I say we had an independent third party, which was a very stringent process. A lot of candidates came through. They went down, made a unanimous decision to appoint Mr. Taverner, a 50-year person who's dedicated his life. I've received numerous calls, I can tell you that, from people both currently serving in the police force and some retired members saying he's an absolute fantastic choice. He's the right person at this time, and we stand behind the decision.
Well, it's all on hold now. There was a video I saw on Facebook, granted, showing what appeared to be the Premier talking to a group of developers, specifically saying that he was going to open up the green belt for development. Are you are you in favor, along with your Premier, of opening up the green belt for development, Bill?
As you know, Kirk, anybody can take something and put it out of context. At the end of the day, we are very intent on ensuring that the green belt is protected. The Premier is very intent on that. The Minister of Agriculture has just spoken on that. He's been given a directive, and at the end of the day, I think all of us in Ontario want to ensure we protect the lands that we have so that they're there for all of our generations to enjoy in all capacities.
Did you see that video that I'm talking about, Bill?
I have not. And again,
it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear. He says we will open up the green belt for development. This is your leader saying that.
Well, at the end of the day, I say there's lots of context. I can say lots of things, and it can be spun of what people want to hear or want to say. What I can share with you is that the Premier is going to stand to protect and ensure that the green belt is there for the generations that come behind us.
Will you always unequivocally support your leader, Bill, no matter what?
I believe all of us in leadership positions have the ability to look at what's best for the province. And at the end of the day, our Premier, I believe, is there because he wanted to make a difference for the people of Ontario. He's going to make decisions that are based on the best opportunities for Ontarians. And certainly I'm going to be part of that process to be there to voice my concerns. And at the end of the day, my goal, as I have done for the 7 years I've been elected, is first and foremost the people of Bruce Grey, Owen Sound, but also in the collective of the province and how we make it better and open for business for people, making the lives of Ontarians better.
Even if sometime in the future you might find yourself on the wrong side of history?
I think at the end of the day, I always try to govern myself with making decisions based on the information I have and what I believe is best. Again, first and foremost, always the people of Bruce Grey, Owen Sound. On the broader perspective, the people of Ontario, and particularly now as a cabinet minister, that's a bigger diligence now to look at the public across. And I want to make sure that we have a better province at the end of our term than what we inherited. And let's not forget how bad and dire the situation was we have inherited for the 15 years of liberal mismanagement and waste. So I will always do my best to make the best decision with the information I have at the time.